who was from the first wave of the Ultimate Secrets Monster High range. It's all very confusing. Anyway. Hello again and welcome back to March Bain's Midlife Dolly Crisis. And with Halloween a mere hop, skip and a jump away, what better time of year would it be than to open a Monster High doll? So this one is Clawdeen Wolf, I think her name is. Yes. Clawdeen Wolf. And obviously she is kind of like a werewolf type character, because she's got sort of werewolf ears and fangs and stuff like that. She's also got glasses, which I do really like on a doll. So I'm looking forward to opening her up. She also comes with a pet down here. So this is part of the first wave of the sort of the core G3 Monster High dolls. We're going to open her up today and see what we think of her. So please join me for that. So here is the front of the box for Clawdeen Wolf. So obviously, you know, it's the kind of the same packaging as we've had for Cleo and also for the very first Draculaura that we opened. Doll here, accessories on the side, and then here we've got the logo for Monster High, and then we've got the sort of the cartoony figure here. So it's got Claudia in the middle, we've got Laguna and Cleo on either side there. On the side we've got the sort of the icons. Obviously these ones are more relating to the character of Clawdeen. So we do have a full moon, not a full moon, well we've got a half moon actually. Why we've got a half moon? Surely it should be a full moon. Anyway, there's a moon with a wolf, and there's kind of like a furry hand, and there's other things with crescent moons on. They don't seem to want to put full moons on. Maybe they're worried it might turn her. But yeah, so that is the side there, and then on the back we've again got the sort of the cartoony images of Clawdeen here with her pet, who is I think called Wolf, is he? Crescent. He's called Crescent. I guess it would get confusing if she was called Clawdeen Wolf and her pet was called Wolf. So yeah, so that is her there, and then the other girls are sitting there. I'm not going to read all of these again like I did when I opened the Cleo one. All I'm going to say is it says monster type, clawsome werewolf / human, monster must-haves, fur eliminator brush, and blue moon spookies. I don't know what blue moon spookies are. Possibly some kind of food thing, maybe. We might find out when we open her up, which is what I'm going to do now. So, here's the box. Ta-da! And yeah, I'm going to open her up and we'll see what we think of her. Okay, so here we go. So these are the accessories that she comes with. It almost looks like she's got a bit less than some of the others, but she is actually wearing things as well. So they might sort of count for some of the other items which the other ones haven't been wearing when they've arrived, if that makes any sense. So first things first, let's have a look at the pet. So this is Crescent, who is a little sort of a wolf cub by the looks of it. So they are purple. They're actually very cute. There's lots of little details on them. There's a sort of a crescent shape around this eye here. And there's another kind of, almost like a sort of, I don't know, it looks like a scar or something, but it's not. It's just, I think, the way that the fur has been sort of coloured there, which kind of goes through the eye. Around the neck there is a collar which has got like a crescent moon hanging from it. And obviously there's lots of sort of moulded detail on there, and there is a bit of paintwork as well. We've got some details painted on. But yeah, I mean, they're very cute. Again, I feel like the head should move, but it doesn't. And I don't want to do it too much in case it comes off in my hand. But yeah, so there we go. So that is the pet. That's Crescent there. And they stand up okay. They stand up quite nicely. So that is them. We've then got this sort of handbag here. So the other two that we've opened have had backpacks because obviously they're meant to be at school. But Clawdeen obviously is fine with just a handbag. So it's black. We have a detail here of kind of like scratch marks on there in gold. We've got a sort of a pink crescent moon there with some what looks like sort of beads around it. It's a bit squishy, the bag, actually, and it does have a slit which opens, so you could put stuff in it. Whether or not you're going to get them out again is another matter, but you could try and put stuff in there. We've also got this sort of dangly chain thing here, which is quite a nice touch, and it's a nice sort of detail to have on it. Again, this is gold. It looks like sort of chains. Again, we've got another crescent moon on the end there. There's lots of crescent moons everywhere, which is kind of weird because obviously full moons is what would turn her, I guess, into a werewolf. Although maybe that's why it is crescent moons rather than full moons, because she wouldn't want to be turning all day. So that is that. And yeah, we've got sort of a strap there. I think it's quite nice that they've given her a different kind of bag because backpacks are fine, but I kind of think this one is a bit more practical to kind of dress with other things, just because it's kind of like a proper handbag. So that is that. So then we've got some very little bits here. We've got the phone. Now, I would say that the details on the phone are probably the worst ones that I've seen, in that it almost looks like when you get one of those sort of stickers that gets damaged and then the print starts to come off it. I mean, it's supposed to just be, I guess it's sort of a bit pixelated, but yeah, it's not the most amazing one that I've seen. So that is that. It's pink, and we've got, I think, got like a wolf head on the top of it there. And if you just flip it over to the back, obviously it's kind of like a coffin shape, and there's all kinds of patterns in there. I think it's like sort of scratch marks and I don't know, all sorts of things going on with that. Again, it's got the sort of the grippy thing so she can actually hold it. So that is the phone. We've got a brush here because obviously she's, oops, there we go. We've got a brush, which hopefully you can see. There we go. So again, we've got this whole crescent moon thing going on. It is gold. We've got this sort of like the round thing where she can put her finger through. It's not the biggest brush or comb I've seen. It would have been nice if she'd actually had one, because she does have very long hair. It would have been nice if they'd given her a comb she could actually use, perhaps, but sadly not in this instance. So that is the comb there. The comb matches the glasses. There we go. So they are gold. They don't have lenses in them, but that's kind of okay. They're quite a simple design. They're a nice shape. I do really like dolls with glasses. There's not any kind of painted detail. There's a bit of printing or moulding, I should say. A bit sort of in the corner of the eye there, which looks a bit like a sort of a pattern just on the side there, and also a bit on the arms of the glasses as well. So that is that. I'm looking forward to seeing her in those, actually. We've got this, which is a snack, and it says Howl Puffs. The printing on that is actually pretty good, and I do like the colours. That is probably something that would fit in a handbag, which is also good, because it might just sort of poke out a bit so we can see it. But yeah, so that is the snack. Quite nice colours there. As printing, there's lots of detail on the back as well, so it looks like it's got the ingredients and the sort of nutritional sort of table at the bottom as well. So that is those. We've then got this, and when I was taking it out, I wasn't really sure what it was meant to be. I thought it was some kind of compact, but I think it's meant to be some sort of snack. I think it's meant to be a biscuit of some description or a cookie. So it's blue, and then it looks like it's got a kind of, around it, it's got a white sort of sandwich between. Now, I don't know for sure, but it looks like she's taken a bite out of it. So I think it's meant to be some kind of cookie. And it did mention on the back of the box that she liked Blue Moon Spookies. So maybe this is what that is. I mean, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments down below. But to me, I think it's meant to be a biscuit or a cookie of some description. So that is that. And then lastly, we have this, which is a kind of a furry kind of waistcoat, because it's got no arms on it. This is quite cute. I do like the colours of it. It's fully lined. You can probably see a few holes in there, which is where those tiny annoying tags were in. This has been one of the issues with the sort of the extra clothing that they've had in this, which is normally just kind of one bit. So she had this, Cleo had a jacket, and Draculaura had a cape, and they all had these tiny tags in, and they were very difficult to get out. They were very annoying to get out. It didn't really matter so much with this, because obviously you're only going to see the fur, and you can't really do much damage to that. Not damage that you would see necessarily. So that is the waistcoat there. So let's bring on the doll herself. I think she has a really amazing face. So I'm going to show you that first. The screening is actually really nice on her, and she has very sort of expressive eyes with lots of detail in them. If I put it here, that might be easier for you to see, because the light isn't very good. She's got a really pretty face. Her eyes particularly are very nicely done. So her eyes are kind of like a golden colour, and they do have details sort of within them. She's got blue eyeshadow and also some sort of like pink eyeshadow as well. She's got sort of dark eyeliner on. She has freckles also, and her nose is kind of like the sort of the animal nose thing. Her lips are a sort of, I don't know, a kind of like a browny pink. And you can see that she's got sort of like little fangs coming out as well. So that is that. If you have a look on the side, she doesn't have ears. And there's obviously a reason for that. So she just has this kind of like a hair detail. Looks like little sort of tufts on either side there. Just on kind of like her jawline. So obviously she's meant to be a werewolf, so they've given her ears already. They are quite cute, and they have sort of given them some earrings. So she has earrings in both of them. So the one on this side is a hoop, and it's got sort of studded details on it. It is black. And the one on the other side, which is also black, has more of a, again, I think it's probably the phases of the moon, because we've got two crescents and a circle, which might be sort of referring to a full moon perhaps on there. Other details that she actually has is she does have some baby hairs around the top of her head there. And let's talk about the hair. The hair is actually really nice. I think it does feel very soft. I don't know if there's product in it. The ends feel a bit dry, but not too much. I haven't given it a brush. I do want to give it a brush. What I'm not sure about is this at the top here, this kind of weird sort of bun thing. I might take that out because I don't particularly like it. And I'm not sure. Oh, so that bit is there. I mean, that might just go flat if I remove it, but I might have to give it a bit of a boil wash or something. So there's lots of different colours in her hair. If I put it down here, we're able to see. So there's sort of this, almost sort of like a rose gold colour. It's sort of like a bit pink and a bit sort of blonde. So that makes quite a lot of the hair there. We've then got the sort of deeper pink colours through it here on both sides. And then underneath that, we've got a sort of a brown colour. I quite like what they've done with the hair. I think it's quite effective. Obviously, this needs a bit of a brush because it is literally out of the box. As I say, it does feel quite soft. The ends maybe feel a little bit dry, but maybe when they've given a brush, they might be okay. She's also got this sort of curl thing going on at the front, which I think is very cute. And obviously the way that the hair is put, you know, it has to sort of go around her ears to sort of show them off as well. So if we move further down, we have got some necklaces. So we've got two necklaces here. So one is a choker with a star on it, and the other one is sort of like a gold chain. Again, we've got the whole sort of crescent moon thing going on. We've got a moon with, it looks like a sort of, some sort of green round stone, but that again might be referring to a full moon. But yeah, so that is very cute. We've also on the front of her, now I don't know what you call this. Is it a play suit or is it I think people refer to them as jumpers. I'm not sure. To me, it's basically like a pair of dungarees that are cut off kind of thing. But, you know, in modern terms, it might be something different. It might be referred to as like a play suit or something like that. But on the front of there, we do have the full phases of the moon there, which is quite interesting. It's a nice sort of pinky purple colour, and it does have sort of like a leopard detail all over it, and I do really like animal print, so you know I do really like that. Underneath that we have got, now I don't know if this is, I'm presuming it's a separate bit, but we'll open the back and have a look. So yeah, judging from what the back shows us, underneath is basically just like a long sleeve top. Again, I really love the colours. I like the fact that it's almost kind of like a zebra print, but it does have, again, I think it's probably got this sort of moon motif running through it as well. It seems like a really nice piece, and it does work very well underneath this. If we go lower again, we've then got a belt, which I think is actually done wrong on here. I'm not sure. It seems to have twisted round. I think that is more like it, but I'm not actually sure. Is it meant to be slightly twisted? If anyone has this doll, please let me know. Again, we've got phases of the moon, we've got gold chains, we've got another crescent moon at the end there. So we've basically got a kind of like a drop belt, really, which is nice, but mine seems to be a bit twisted. I'm not sure if it's meant to be twisted around like that or not. Let's have a close look at her hands, because there are some sort of details that we should be aware of. So her hands almost look like they are sort of almost trying to change, in that they're a bit sort of claw-like. Bring up the sleeves here. We can also see there is fur details around the wrist, in a similar way to the sort of bandage issue that we had with Cleo. So we have that there. If we go further down, so she doesn't have any tights or anything, so she's got kind of like bare legs. There's no kind of details on them from what I can see. They just seem like a regular pair of legs. She's then got some black socks down here, which are sort of like mid-length. Oh, actually they're not socks. They're almost like leg warmers, but not leg warmers. I think they're meant to be socks, but they don't go right down onto her feet. They're basically just kind of like fake socks, I suppose. So that's those. They're just sort of plain black. The shoes are really nicely detailed. So they are purple. They've got a golden sole to them, which are kind of like teethy and sort of clawy, I suppose. At the front we've got golden shoelaces, and we've also got, again, I think we've got like phases of the moon, kind of a motif just on the front of them there. There's lots of moulded details on them too, which makes them really nice. They've obviously put a lot of thought into them. I'm actually going to remove this so we can have a look at the feet, because I think, again, we might have some moulding on those. So you can see what I mean about the sock. It doesn't go all the way down, but if we pull this up, you can see that again we've got a kind of a fur detail just kind of like around the ankle bit there, which kind of goes all the way around. I presume it's the same on there, but I'm not going to bother taking that off to see. So that's kind of cool, because obviously it's kind of harking back to her sort of wolfman origins. So I'm going to put on her little waistcoat and try and get some of the other stuff on her, and we'll have a final look at her. Okay, so here she is. So she's got her waistcoat on now. She's got her glasses on as well. Her bag is down here, so she's got it over her arm. She's multitasking because she's holding Crescent as well as being on her phone and also eating this kind of weird blue biscuit thing that she's got. I think she's really cute. I was kind of kicking myself basically when I ordered her because a day or two after I did put the order through, they then released images of the new sort of like reboot of the core line, at least for Clawdeen and for Draculaura, which are going to be sort of like slightly more sort of darker versions of them. And I did really like the Clawdeen that they did. But, you know, I'm actually quite happy with this one. Her face, as I say, is really lovely. I may or may not get the reboot of the core line Clawdeen. I haven't seen any of the other ones yet. They've literally only released the 2. But we'll see. We'll see what the future brings. Let me know what you think of Clawdeen down in the comments down below. Please like the video if you've enjoyed it. And please subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you're all getting prepared for Halloween and enjoying the build up to the season. So until the next time, from me and from Clawdeen, bye. Bye.